Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Chris with Scooter Operations and ScooterOps.com, the virtual e-scooter repair shop. Today we're finishing up the Tifgalop T88. This is part 2 of the front flat tire. So we are putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, and this is a motor wheel, so we're working with within the tension slack of the motor. It's going to be a little tricky. I don't imagine it'll be super tricky. It's going to be a little tricky getting this tube over the rim, and we only have 2 tubes for 2 flat tires left in my shop, so that is the gist. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Chris with Scooter Operations and ScooterOps.com, the e-scooter virtual repair shop. Today we're finishing up the Tifgalop T88 or T88 Plus or the K8. This may also work for the Clara. So we're doing part 2 of our 2-part series as always, where we put Humpty Dumpty back together again, meaning we put the tube inside the wheel, we put the wheel back onto the forks, and the scooter becomes repairable again so we can ride it. So this will be a little tricky because it's a big tire, and we only have we have 2 tubes left in stock for 2 flat tires, so I want to be really careful in putting the tube back into the wheel, but we already drilled out the tubeless mechanism as you saw in part 1. So without further ado, let's get to work. So here's our tire, okay? And I do want to mention that in case things get dicey, we do have our soapy water. We have our soapy water nearby, okay? All right. So tube size and tire size is in the school resource page. So first things first, I'm removing the valve cap stem, okay, and we're gonna put the tube into the tire. Inspect your tire once again. Always do a thorough check. Check once, check twice, check 3 times. We're stuffing the tube into the tire for now. Okay. Give it a nice stuff. Okay. So once again, I only have 2 tubes in my inventory right now, so I gotta be very careful not to pop this one. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take the valve stem, pull it out a little bit, and it's going into this hole. Once again, we created that hole because that's where the tubeless mechanism comes out, and we drilled that out in part 1. Actually, we torched it out with a torch. So feed that through, okay, and then recap your valve stem. So I have gloves on right now, but I'm gonna maybe take them off because I have to get in here with my fingers. So the clunky gloves, it's always nice to wear gloves, but sometimes you got to take them off to get the job done. Okay. Now it's all about stuffing this in here and getting this on with tire spoons or whatever. We also have the vice grips. So perhaps I'm attacking this the wrong way. I am. So it's important to come this way with the tire because this way has the motor cable, so we can't put it on that way. So again, there's a lot of doing and undoing, right? So this is a tricky wheel to put on. We have to come this way with it, okay? So how are we going to do that? Well, we'll have to there's also tread orientation. There is no tread orientation, okay. So again, we have to put this on here, and the only way to do that looks like we have to come this way. Right? Cap your valve stem. Okay. You can see how off we are, right? You can see how off we are and how much force this takes on these big tires. So I'm gonna take my tire spoon and get this side. I'm gonna break the half, meaning the top half of the rim is going in. Okay, so already we have half of the rim over. That's what I call beating the half. So now it's a matter of tucking in with my fingers and massaging and maneuvering the tube around the rim. Toughest part of this is working within the constraint of the motor cable. The motor cable tucks around the forks. Doesn't give us much room to work with. Okay, so I used my thumb and got a good tuck there. All right, so now we're ready for maybe we can just get this with our hands? No. Now we're ready for our first vice grip, okay? So again, these are the trick to doing all these tires, okay? You can get these at any hardware store, okay? It's about a 2-inch lockjaw alligator vice grip. And we're gonna come over the top with it and squeeze it down. Gotta open them quite wide. Maybe we have to come from the bottom. just want to pinch the tire a little bit, as if we had the hands and grip of Thor and we're going like this, okay? And just that little bit of tension allows us to form the circle of the tire over the rim. It's going to be tough to get this on camera while I do this. I don't have a ton of space, but we're getting there. My arm might get in the way of the frame. Okay, maybe this is a better shot. So with this particular size, it's very hard to get it on, but once it starts going, it seems to finish itself. And I'm reluctant to use this, but we're going to stick a tire spoon in here. Actually, we're not yet. I'm going to grab my other vice grip, okay? And I'm going to grab down here. So open it up. Okay. It's just kind of floating there. It's not helping a ton. But it may help enough just to start our rim. We're going to have to dial in this one. So as this one's already on, we'll get a better grip on it with the second one. Get a better one. So this is called dialing in. I got a better grip. Now I'm getting a better grip. Without pulling it off, I tighten the bottom and I can get a really good grip on this wheel here. Okay? really tough with the slack. The tube's in there. This is a tricky, it's a tricky one, but we'll get it. We always do. We always get them. It's very satisfying once you finally get these things. Okay? We're gonna have to pull out the table. We have to pull out the table and work from the other side. So what I'm doing here, these are the forks. The left side of the scooter, or the right side of the scooter, if you're facing north, that's where the motor cable comes out of. So I gotta be over here and not over here. That's all. But we'll get it, we always do. Okay. So I had to position myself to get over on the opposite side of the scooter because we only have this tension to work with, this slack, and we got to get this up and over the rim here. Okay? That's probably the trickiest thing about these motor wheels. Okay? So I'm dialing in my vice grips once again. It's a pretty good grip on there. grip down about here. So we're using 3 tools. Okay, that's a good, I just got a good portion of it over. Trying to show it on camera. So I just got from here to here over the rim, and I'm going to use my 4th tool or 2nd tire spoon to finish the job. Be careful because they'll fly off. Tube is in there. Always feel the back. Make sure the tube's not bleeding out. There's a lot of tire force tension on these spoons. I'm losing this grip, so I'm going to rotate it over counterclockwise. I'm going to get a nice tight grip on it, okay? You can see my vice grips a little bit, but they're really on there. I'm losing this one. I'm just going to rotate it over maybe this way. Whatever it takes. Okay? And just about got it over. There we go. Okay. So at this point you want to give it a good massage. And we lost the valve stem a little bit. Try not to lose it completely. We're going to pull that out. Probably helps to put the valve extender on before you do this. These are a different size lockjaw. Try to grab my valve stem before it. See how you get a nice grip on that before it comes through? We're losing the tube into the tire. So I'm trying to put the valve extender over so I don't lose the valve. Okay? The tube is in there, but it's non-uniform, so we're going to put a little bit of air in and hope that we didn't damage the tube. Because if we damage the tube, then we're going to have to order a new one. Alright, so this is a tubeless tire, and we're putting a tube in there, so the tire doesn't sit on the rim without any air quite well. So start by just putting in a little bit of air. And the good news is it's not leaking. It's not leaking, so we successfully put it on. I got about 10 psi in there just to hold uniformity. And I'm gonna let that air stabilize in there. So now I got about 20 in there, and we're losing the valve into the tube. So what that means is this valve extender can't come off. It can come off, but if we take it off, it's going to ruin the fix. So I'm going to let the air, I'm going to put my tire neutral towards gravity, and I'm going to let the air stabilize in here. And that way it'll uniformly go around the rim a little bit better as time goes on. And in the meantime, I'm going to go buy more valve extenders from O'Reilly because I need to do the back and I need more in my shop in general. So we're going to cut the video here. Actually, we don't need to cut. We'll put the I mean, the rest of the video is simply putting the wheel back onto the fork. Okay? Well, let's do it. You may want to have the tire neutral to gravity and let the air stabilize, but for the sake of the video, I'm putting the tire back onto the forks. And the only thing we have to be wary of is the brake pads, okay? This is easy, guys. We have inner washers. And then we have outer washers. So make sure that disc brake goes in there and gets on your forks, or the forks get on. Ah, man. Don't want to sit in there. There we go. You gotta use your knees. Use your knees, guys. This one lost the washer. Okay. There's a lot of dirt on this scooter. Okay, we're within the forks. Lawyer's lips washers. We'll put this nut on. Put the backside nut on. Grab our ratchet. Okay, I love this ratchet. Switch to the other side so it's tight. Crank down both sides. The size is a 21. 21 goes on the nuts. So now all you have to check for is the disc brake going within the brake, which it is, and the tire is spinning. And the brake works. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Just make sure the cable of the motor is not, there's no interference, and there isn't. And there's no interference of our valve extender hitting anything. So there you go. It's a tubeless, a tubed tubeless fix. We're fixing a tubeless tire with a tube, and this scooter is ready to ride. Besides, I got to do the back tire, but you know the drill. So that's it for this video, guys. It was a little tricky. Getting that tire together because it's big, and we're putting a tube in a tubeless tire, but it should work pretty well for the client. Okay, we'll see you in the next video where we put the rear, we take the rear tube out of, well, it's a tubeless tire, so we attack the rear wheel on the Tifgalop. Okay, visit our school page for community resources, all the tools, and all of the tools and scooter parts will be linked in the school resource page. We also might be migrating to Patreon, so we'll look out for that. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.